Active Investor here, bringing you another independent analysis. This time we're taking a look at ticker symbol CPRX. That's Catalyst Pharmaceuticals Incorporated. The chart we're looking at here today is a one-day chart. Each candlestick on this chart representing 1 day of trading. And I would just like to give credit to Gravity from Reddit for requesting this analysis. This is a company I'm actually not familiar with. It does have an interesting chart, but that said, it has been facing a lot of resistance. It seems like right around September of 2015, it entered a really powerful downtrend where it struggled to break above the 100 and the 200 single moving averages. Those 100 and 200 single moving averages being the red line for the 200 and the orange line being the 100 moving averages. So if we're bullish on a company, if we're long on it, we want to see it go up in price. We never want to see it below the 200 or the 100 SMAs. The fact that those are above our candles shows that we're in a really powerful downtrend. Now what's interesting is it also seems to be struggling to break the 50 period moving average, the 50 period moving average being this yellow line here. And if you take a look, you can see it was actually denied at the 50 SMA, denied at the 50 SMA, denied at the 50 SMA there, and denied at the 50 SMA there. And 50 SMA is still above the candles. Now on the bright side, that 50 simple moving average is getting closer to our candles where we currently are trading, right around this area. So this trend could reverse. Also on the bright side is the fact that we have some really good support at the current price level. It's hard to see our pivot points on this chart since we have such a cluster down here. But those white areas, those white lines are my pivot points. And usually I will put the pivot point information right under the pivot points themselves. But since we're so condensed on this chart, I'm putting the pivot point information up right here. So we have good support at 60 cents, 55 cents, and 37 cents. 37 cents being the very bottom. So, hopefully we don't ever test that. But closer to our current share price, we do have really good support at 60 cents and at 55 cents. Now, following along with that support is the 10 and 20 period simple moving averages. Those are going to be the blue for the 10 and the green for the 20 simple moving averages. Now, you can see all along this downtrend for a while, we were floating below those moving averages even. So that's really rough. The fact that we couldn't break above the 10 and 20 moving averages is not a good sign. But if you look at where we're currently trading, we actually are currently above the 10 and the 20 simple moving averages. So the chart is starting to look a little bit better. It still has a lot of resistance to cover though. That 50 period moving average is acting as trailing resistance. But the good news is for the relatively short term, that resistance is right around 80 cents. So if we can break the resistance at 70 cents, I think there's a good shot we run up to 80 cents. And if we can finally break that 50 period moving average, that yellow line, I think we get right to $1 pretty easily. Now at $1, there's a ton of resistance from there. We got resistance at $1. We have to break above that 100 period moving average, which is right around $1.12. And then we have some more resistance at $1.20. So there is a lot of resistance from $1 to $1.20. But if we can break $1.20, I think we can move up really easily to $1. What would that be? $1.70. And falling in line with that fact is how we decreased here so sharply. We went from right around $1.70 all the way down to about $1.70 in a very short amount of time. So there is some really good gap of potential. If we can break $1.20, we should easily be able to run to $1.80. The hardest part is really going to be breaking above this 50 period moving average. As I mentioned, we were denied up here, we were denied here, 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 and denied here as well. This stock is really having trouble breaking that 50 period moving average. So if we can finally break that moving average, things are going to be looking a lot better for the chart. And as I also mentioned, it's good that we're above the 10 and 20 period moving averages now. That's signaling that we could see a reversal here, but we really need to break that yellow line. Now, if you take a look down here at the bottom, this indicator is the MACD indicator, Moving Average Convergence Divergence, a really famous indicator. And I do usually like to use Relative Strength Index, but for this chart, the moving average, rather the MACD, tells us a really good story. So this red line on the MACD, that's our slow moving average. And in order for the MACD to be bullish, we want the slow and the fast being that green line, we want both those to be above the zero line. The zero line is right here. Well, let me draw that out. The zero line's right. I'm not sure why that's not drawing. Strange. Well, the zero line. Oh, it did draw. I'm sorry about that. The zero line being right here. So if we can break above that zero line, then things are going to be looking a lot better. But that slow moving average was denied at the zero line many times. Denied here, 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 right here, right here, right here, right here. And it's currently getting denied again right there. You can see those red dots. Those are bearish crosses. That's when our slow moving average crosses above our fast moving average. So we don't want to see that. The MACD was actually almost looking really good here. We had a bullish cross, that green dot signaling a bullish cross where our fast SMA crossed above the slow SMA. And both averages were trying to get to that zero line. And the fast average actually did cross above the zero line, but that slow average did have difficulty at that zero line again, and it did get denied again. We have a bearish cross. So overall, this chart has a lot of resistance to cover, but it does have some really good gap up potential. I didn't chart out any more information above the 170 pivot point / resistance area since we have so much resistance to cover on the way there. Now I will say if we can break above the 50 moving average, break above $1, 120, if we get to 120, then since I'm pretty confident we will get to 170 really easily, that's when I will update this analysis with some more pivot points all the way back up here. But until then, there's really no reason to include those since we're quite a ways away from that trading range since the stock is currently trading at about 62 cents. So just to reiterate really quick, we're trading at 62 cents. We have really good support at 60 cents and 55 cents. Really good support at 37 cents, but that's the bottom, so we don't want to test that. On the way up from our current trading area, we have resistance at 70 cents and then at right around 80 cents because that 50 SMA has denied us multiple times along the chart. And if we can break that, then we can test $1. And if $1 breaks, we're going to be able to test that 100 period moving average finally, since we haven't been able to test that since way back here, which was September last year. And I'm definitely going to be keeping my eye on the stock since if it does get some good news, I think it can definitely get a leg up. And like I said, there is some really good gap up potential, so I'll be keeping my eye on this. Thanks again for the heads up on this stock. A lot of resistance to cover, but it is starting to look like it could potentially reverse. I really want to see this MACD cross bullish, and I really want to see both MACD averages cross above this zero line here. We want it to be above here. We want it to be trading above here somewhere. All right, that's all I have to say about this stock right now. I hope you enjoyed this analysis. If you have any questions, leave a comment below, and I will definitely take a look. Hope you enjoyed this, and have a good one.